And so each of us knows that we know our dog or our cat or our horse or a bird is more than just this physical body. We've known that for years. So when you acknowledge that they think, that they feel information, they record their past, and they do behaviors to make sure that they are safe, that's enormous. That says I'm an intelligent being. It's not just the human species that's the most evolved being on this planet. So I do a meditation to quiet my mind, to quiet my nervous system, to quiet my emotions when I go to talk to an animal so that the body can pick up the information as well as my thoughts or a vision. I'm going to give you, we talked a teeny tiny bit about Cindy last week, the dog that wouldn't get into the car, remember? And I told you the solution I did once I found out that she had got her tail caught in the door was that I pretended I was her. I tucked my tail up against my tummy and I jumped into the back seat. If you have your tail tucked next to your tummy, it is impossible to get it caught in a door because my mind won't can't argue with that. I could give that vision fully, be the dog jumping into the back seat, and guarantee that it will never, ever, 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 ever get caught. Dog made an immediate change. How did I find out? Because what I had to do first, what you're going to do today, I had to find out what the issue was. For a whole year, Cindy would not jump into the back seat of the car, and she was 6 years old. She had been doing it, going on car rides and going on vacations for 6 years, loved it. Then all of a sudden, her personality changed. She no longer jumps into the back seat. So, this is what I did. And this is what I want you to make a little notation of if you want to know the clarity of what you're asking. I know her decision to stay safe for some reason is don't jump into the car. Don't jump into the car. She'd jump out of the car with no problem, but not into the car. So I know the issue has to do with jumping in the car. So I closed my eyes. I've done my prayer. I've acknowledged her soul and her intelligence. And I've asked, what does it feel like to be you, Cindy, jumping into the car, jumping into the car? Then I take her solution away in my mind. No, I did not. I'm jumping ahead. What I did was I kept seeing her jumping into the car, jumping into the car. What that did was it makes her nervous. Her decision is not to jump in the car. So by making her a little bit nervous, I get all of a sudden get a feeling in my body. I got a visual flash of how old she was. The vision, I'll talk about that in a second. And I felt excruciating pain. So the vision was my paws are huge. I see nothing but gray. The back seat, the bottom of the back seat and the back of the front seat of a car in the floorboard. And I see my paws trying to grab onto the floorboard so I can take my back leg and get my whole body into the car. So as she's doing that behavior, she gets her legs in and her hip in, but she didn't get her tail in. And the pain that went up my spine was awful. If anybody's got their finger caught in the door of a car, you understand what the pain level was. So her decision not to experience that, don't get into the car. Have them pick me up and put me in the car, which they did. It's that simple. But your body has to be the antenna of the information, giving it and receiving it. So now each of you have an idea how you would give the information. You're going to be your animal doing the behavior that they're doing, and then do the opposite of it to find out why. Okay?
Sam, can we slow it down a little and just repeat the really important? You said something amazing. Your body has to be the antenna. Can you
Yes.
just explain a little bit about how animals have antenna? We don't. Just explain, please.
Okay, I will. We are energy receivers. The whole body is. Animals are an energy receiver, their whole body. So when they're babies, they see the environment. When we're babies, we see the environment. When we crawl, we're feeling the texture of the carpet. We're feeling the wind touch our body. We're feeling information and sensing information. Animals this so animals will feel the information just like we do, and they've developed more of their sensory system. Now what's interesting is that our nervous system goes to every single organ in our body and then goes and gives information to the brain on what's going on. With animals, and we have some of this out also. We should have our nervous system, those sensory things that go to every organ, including our skin. Then it should jettison out a distance from the body around us, our field. We've heard people use that field. Well, that field has our fine tuned sensory nervous system that's picking up information. Oh, I feel the wind. It's also picking up information that, oh, there's somebody watching me in the back quarter, watching what I'm doing. And we'll usually turn and go, just turn and think, oh, we're looking, but there's nobody there. So those aspects of both of us, animals and people, can be developed. The animals, their sensory system, their nervous system, goes to the fur, out, at least, it should be at least an arm's length around them and around us to pick up information. We didn't spend time in our nervous system and our sensory system or our intuition systems. We stayed more in our emotions for communication and our verbal communications. Those others are slightly dormant. So the more that we are aware of these systems, and for me, when I meditate, I go down my spine and I expand my spine, my nervous system that goes through the spine and the nerves and out around my body. And I ask that there's like a little filter on the end of those, like being in a big bubble of light for the protection. Okay, animals are aware and they've used that system so long. There is an automatic protective aspect that they are aware of because that's one of their normal, most powerful ways of picking up information.